my beer is now sat in the primary fermenter for 10 days. Recommended time frame 7 to 10. I went on the higher end because I still had activity in my airlock. That has now died down within the last 24 hours, so I'm ready to move on to secondary fermentation. For that step, we're just going to take your beer in your primary fermenter, siphon it down to a clean carboy on the floor. Here's a look at my Continental Pilsner. You can see the dried up foam, or the krausen as it's called, around the rim of the bucket. This is a telltale sign that your primary fermentation is complete. So for siphoning, I'm going to be using my auto siphon tube assembly here. So what this does is inside there's a smaller tube. It has a black base on it. When you draw that back inside the larger tube, it's going to pull the beer or wine into the larger tube, filling it. And then when you press it back down through, it's going to force the liquid up through the smaller tube and down through your hose. The advantage of these is you're not going to be putting your lips on the end and possibly contaminating your beer or wine. So there's a couple options when it comes to secondary fermentation. For this style of beer, a Continental Pilsner, I'm just going to let it age and condition for a couple extra weeks, and it should turn out just fine. Now for IPAs and pale ales, you can get into dry hopping. What dry hopping is, you can use a carboy, but I would prefer using a bucket. You have the larger opening at the top. You siphon it off into a clean bucket, and at that point you can add whole hops or pellet hops. It's up to you. Whole hops, probably better quality. You can throw them in loose, or you can bag them in a nylon mesh bag, and you can actually hang it with a string in your bucket, and when you put your lid on, it'll hold that string in place. And what it does, it just, for the last 5 to 7 days of your secondary fermentation, it's just going to add aromas and characteristics to your beer to enhance the flavor, and it's going to give it that fresh bite too, that fresh hop bite. So like I said, with pale ales and IPAs, it's a common thing to do. It's fun to try. You can almost make the beer your own. Like I said, with the Continental Pilsner, I'm just going to leave it just as it is because I like how it turns out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video if you liked it, comment. We like discussion, so if you got anything you want to talk about or any points to add, don't be shy. We'll see you next time.